What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. December means plenty of holidays, and if you're a WWE fan, it means you're likely to see plenty of season's beatings. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a wrestling star passing away at the age of only 39, Jeff Hardy breaks his silence, an insane rumor on why Jeff Hardy was fired, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Liv's second chance. A kudos to the WWE for salvaging the promising Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch program last night with an exciting exchange between Morgan and Big Time Bex. As we noted in our analysis of last week's title match between Morgan and Lynch, the WWE needs to capitalize on the fans' support for the former Riot Squad member, and it looks like they're doing exactly that. Morgan called out Lynch, pointing out the only way she could beat her was by cheating in their previous match and demanding a rematch. Lynch played her heel role to perfection, mocking Morgan's loss and taunting her further by stating she cheated not because she had to, but because she could. This ensuing scuffle and Lynch's attack on Morgan's arm was a good setup for their rematch on 1st January, and now the WWE is reporting, as revealed on Raw Talk, Liv Morgan has a deep bone bruise and a strained radial collateral ligament in her left arm. It should be interesting to see how the WWE incorporates Morgan's latest troubles into a quest for the championship gold. Number 2, Lashley domination. Last night's Raw was a painful reminder, at least for anyone who ran into him, why Bobby Lashley truly is the Almighty. While the WWE has made some missteps with Lashley's booking over the last few months, including far too many pinfall losses for someone of his caliber, including his pointless loss to Roman Reigns, yesterday's showing proved he's the top monster heel the WWE needs, particularly on Raw. Lashley successfully ran a 3-match gauntlet to enter Day 1's WWE Championship match, looking as dominant as ever. Exactly the image he should project every time he steps into an arena. Number 3, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins gold. It looks like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are the latest WWE pairing to pay off with undeniable comedy gold. While KO and Rollins aren't an unlikely tandem like SmackDown's Brock Lesnar and Sami Zayn, or even Raw's RK Bro, they have a superb synergy that has played out well over the last few weeks, including last night's Raw. Every segment with Kevin and Seth yielded laughs, and it helped further the storyline of both men looking to gain an advantage for their Day 1 championship match against Big E. Kevin Owens may be on his way out of the WWE, but the WWE is wisely utilizing him before he leaves. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, WWE Math turning a singles match into a fatal 4-way. Is Scott Steiner lending his infamous Steiner Math skills to Raw? Well, how else to explain how Seth Rollins won a fatal 4-way match to earn a championship match against Big E, only to see the match transformed into a fatal 4-way involving him, Owens, and Bobby Lashley against the champion at Day 1. This is yet another example of the WWE overbooking a match at the expense of continuity and logic. It's obvious that WWE wants to make Day 1 into a must-see event, hence it's booking of marquee matches like Lesnar vs Reigns and a fatal 4-way for the championship. Nonetheless, why start things off with Rollins earning a one-on-one title match, then throwing 2 more wrestlers into the mix? Is it too much to expect logic and or continuity in the WWE booking? Well, apparently so. Number 2, where the hell is Veed? Seriously, where the hell is this guy? That's all we gotta say. Number 3, booking babyfaces like sh**. Why does the WWE continue to book its babyfaces like sh**? Last night's prime example was the WWE Champion Big E's latest loss, this time to Bobby Lashley. While no wrestler should win every time, and last year Roman Reigns, they shouldn't get a beatdown every week either. The WWE's recent booking of Big E has been terrible, and he's just one babyface who seems to come up short every week. Whether it's Riddle losing to Otis, or Liv Morgan losing a match, or this week getting beat up, there comes a point where fans just give up on their favourites. While Riddle seems safe for now, Liv Morgan is walking a tightrope as the WWE can't figure out how to book her as anything but a lovable loser. A gimmick that Nikki Ash has shown is a potential career killer. The WWE needs to rectify its booking of Big E if it wants to solidify him as a bona fide main eventer. Big E has made most of the singles push that started in 2020, putting in the work and time to get over with the fans as he's worked a variety of talents, providing his versatility and worth as a singles star. It's clear the WWE Universe is behind him, so why does he have to lose and get laid out every week? Number 4, 24/7 bore. What else can we say about the current 24/7 championship situation other than the belt and the storyline surrounding it seem to hit a new low every week? The WWE should have retired the belt months ago, but it's become a crutch for lazy writers to fill TV time rather than getting wrestlers and storylines over. And has the Miz and Edge storyline expired? Speaking of retirement, last night's exchange between the Miz and Edge suggests this feud may have fizzled out a little bit. Last night's showdown between WWE's A-lister and the Rated R superstar had all the excitement of last night's 24/7 championship segment. The Miz and Edge are both excellent talkers, but you couldn't tell that from last night's segment. Adding Maurice to the storyline hasn't helped, and even worse, the WWE is obviously setting things up for a mixed tag match with Maurice and Miz taking on Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now, there was nothing downright ugly about last night's show, but there were so many mediocre and bad segments, the show came close to a downright ugly award due to its overall awfulness. Such a disappointment too, because the last few weeks of Raw have actually been good. What did you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Jeff Hardy breaking his silence. Topping today's news is the latest string of stories on Jeff Hardy and his recent WWE release, with Jeff's brother Matt updating fans on Jeff's condition and Jeff discussing his plans for the immediate future. Sports journalist John Alba summarized a recent Twitch stream from Matt Hardy concerning Jeff. Happy to hear from Matt Hardy's stream that Jeff Hardy is doing well and there's no reason to be concerned. Says he's not worried about any issues right now. Adds WWE helped a lot in 2019 with rehab. Says Jeff is the best version of himself he's ever seen right now. Matt says Jeff will eventually tell the story when he's ready to. He confirms Sean Ross Sapp's report that Jeff did tell WWE that he didn't need to go into rehab, but Matt doesn't feel Jeff needs to either. He believes Jeff is in a great place right now, which is good to hear. Matt says his biggest concern is that Jeff is happy and healthy, and Matt says he is both right now. Says we'll see what the future holds. I'm really glad to hear all of this. Jeff also showed up during Matt Hardy's social media, including his Twitch stream and YouTube channel. According to Wrestling Inc., Brother Nero was featured in a Matt Fact segment, with Matt claiming to be the brains behind the Hardys. According to the recap from Wrestling Inc., Jeff then appeared in the background with his headphones on. He delivered a line that some are seeing as reference to his recent WWE departure. "Sorry man, I was listening to Release Me by Wilson Phillips," Jeff said. Jeff continued, "Look man, I'm the whisper in the wind, I'm the swanton bomb, but without you, there is no poetry in motion." Although Jeff didn't directly refer to his release, he did bring up his upcoming music tour. For now, fans hoping for a Hardy's reunion will have to wait for Jeff's non-compete clause to expire. Next up, an insane Jeff Hardy rumor. Other stories about Jeff Hardy's WWE release have also led to some insane rumors, including one that wrestling's charismatic enigma intentionally got himself into trouble so the WWE would release him, thereby freeing him to join his brother Matt in AEW. A Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp recently tweeted about this speculation, saying, "It seems silly to address this at all, but according to those close with him I spoke to, Jeff Hardy wasn't trying to get fired from WWE, he wasn't working to get out of his deal. The exact phrase I was given was that it was an absurd take." While pro wrestling has some bizarre stories, this one doesn't add up, as Hardy seems to be in the midst of a push on SmackDown and there was no evidence that he was unhappy in the WWE. I guess we can put that silly rumor to rest. Next up, Raw's worst turnout ever. Our reports are coming in that last night's Raw from the XL Energy featured some awful attendance. Twitter user Purge Rebellion posted pictures from the show with the following message saying, "I've never seen WWE this bad. Monday Night Raw is looking like a ghost town." Wow. Ringside News is also reporting that there were many empty seats at the 13th December show, saying, "According to fans at the show, people have been moved to the hard camera side because approximately half of the arena is empty. It's very unusual for seats to be not full at a WWE event, and this is what got people talking." Raw has been drawing some surprisingly low attendance numbers compared to rival promotion AEW. While any reports from fans should always be taken skeptically, reliable news sites have confirmed past instances where AEW sold more tickets than the WWE in the same arena. And finally, a wrestling star passes away at only the age of 39. Now we are sad to report that veteran wrestler Jimmy Rave has passed away at age 39. Rave, aka James Guffey, spent most of his career in Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling. With a career dating back to 1999, Rave was a familiar face to fans in these promotions as well as on the indie circuit. Battles with personal demons led to him seeking rehab, and he later shared his experiences by becoming the director of the Peer Support Wellness and Respite Center in Georgia. Sadly, Rave had to have his left arm amputated in 2020 due to an infection. In 2021, an MRSA infection led to Rave having both his legs amputated. At this moment, the cause of his passing has not been known, but we send our condolences to James Guffey and his friends and family during this hard time. But there you have it folks, the good, the bad and the downright ugly from this week's Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.